Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Enrix, me, this is gonna be Xnub, and then finally we have, what is this guy, Sorimachi here. So this is on Lost Temple. Red Zerg is gonna be Enrix, Blue Terran is in fact me. My opponents are going to be Xnub as the teal Terran, and finally the purple Zerg. So Enrix saying this is the best map ever. I think this is one of those maps where we generally have a fairly good matchup and good team play. Coming in over here, we have a couple of these drones. Now continuing to mine, not really doing much. Looks like they are in fact, Sorimachi might be trying to go for that Zerg trick. No, not going for the Overlord or the Extractor trick. Coming back over here, taking a look at Enrix's base. Enrix generally likes to go for a fast hatchery, so we'll see if he in fact goes for another fast hatchery or not. It's been a couple days or at least 24 hours since I've played this game, so I don't remember all the details of it. Here I am building a front door on my supply depot, trying to make sure that I have no harassment coming in. Xnub, on the other hand, also doing the same exact thing. So it is a true mirror match, just Terran Zerg versus Terran Zerg. There are a number of options that Terran Zerg particularly have that work out pretty well. One of those happens to be medevacs with any Zerg unit. Medevacs are able to heal air units as well, so that when those medevacs, when you have Mutalisks generally take a high amount of damage. So what you can do is you can leave 2 or 3 medevacs in your partner's base, and then those Mutalisks can then fly over and head over to those medevacs, heal back up, and then go back out for more harassing. That's one of the best ways I've seen medevacs used in quite some time. I'm now going to go ahead and finish off this front door, making sure that no one's able to come into this position. Also, I want to build this orbital command center. I think I mess up a little bit here, as I'm not quite as familiar with Terran anymore. Just trying to play all 3 races makes me getting a little bit choked up sometimes. Taking a look at this build, I'm going to build the command center right now, most likely, and then also build down this tech lab. So upgrading to that orbital command, we have now another hatchery coming in from Enrix. So Enrix, I'm doing this hatchery at around 17, making sure to get that spawning pool first though. So I think he forewent the queen for an early hatchery, so perhaps that will work out better for him. Enrix also now getting that Roach Warren into play. Taking a look over here, the opponent now also getting that Roach Warren as well, so that his Roach Warren going to be a little bit earlier, along with that queen being a little bit earlier. Couple Marines now in position. Barracks still not producing any additional units, not lifting off yet in order to add a tech lab. Taking a look at this, we already have a factory coming in from Xnub, so that factory from Xnub going to open them up to a number of different units. Now in comes that reactor core, so Xnub getting a reactor core instead of getting that tech lab, wanting to be able to mass more Marines. Whenever you see a reactor core with an early factory, you should generally be assuming that it's going to be Marines and siege tanks, as that's probably one of the better combinations of the two. Barracks now coming into play, more barracks being built. I'm trying to go for a triple barracks build in order to mass up more units. I'm also now going to be using my Reaper micro, just trying to get as many Reapers as I can. Going to be able to produce 2 additional Reapers on this tail end over here. Reapers are in fact very, very expensive though. That's one of those things that you have to be careful about. Since Reapers are so expensive, you gotta really micro these units. They're really expensive units, they're gas intensive, and if those Reapers are not worth their weight in gold in terms of how much damage they deal, then it really wasn't that good of an investment, as those Reapers really delay your tech. Gonna get that final Reaper into play and now start producing some Marines and some Marauders. Gonna go ahead and try to move around with these Reapers. Reapers now gonna be coming in, going down this short ledge, and then gonna go ahead and hop back up. We already have some Hellions now moving around the map, so those Reapers now coming in, and I pretty much am happy to really see a very empty base. I attack for no reason, and that kind of reveals my positioning, so that's really messes me up here. Gonna go ahead and try to focus down some of these SCVs, perhaps focus down some of these. There we go, so getting one final kill off, getting another final kill off, and at least I am now able to pull back his whole entire tech and pull back his whole entire mining, as some Marines and some Hellions are now coming back over here, trying to go after a couple supply depots. That supply depot is going to in fact burn down, as those Hellions are now trying to chase down those Reapers. Reapers are a little bit, or not quite as fast as those Hellions, but those Hellions now able to push back away, leaving these Reapers down over here. Taking a look, Sorimachi now moving these roaches back over into his base, and my partner fully has a very, very large, or getting that hatchery underway. Enrix now trying to set up his expansion as I'm doing more harassment. I'm going to use these Reapers even further. I think I just really messed up by not attacking this one particular, or by attacking this one particular supply depot and then revealing myself to the opponent. Now going to be going ahead, coming up this ramp. He's going to try to jump up into this position and perhaps try to take down some of these units over here. Quickly see that there's a queen, so I'm probably going to be having to do some hit and runs in order to try to do any quick maneuvering. Gonna come in over here, try to get some drone kills. So move in, getting one drone kill, getting another drone kill, another drone kill, another drone kill, another drone kill, but I think out comes some roaches, and those roaches will be able to eat alive these Reapers without any real issues. So gonna go ahead and run back down, gonna get a couple more drone kills over here, and it's gonna at least take a lot of the attention away from my partner who's getting that expansion. Gonna go ahead and jump up to that high ledge, tell him to hold position on that high ledge, and then make it so that they cannot mine gas out of that particular Vespian geyser. Coming back into the game, I'm producing double factories and getting dual tech labs, dual tech labs in order to try to produce some siege tanks. I want to transition from that Reaper harassment into a very, very strong, I guess, bio-mech ball. That is what the Terran players are just known for. A large clump of units that are very, very strong and very, very difficult to take out. Taking a look at that siege tank, or siege tech currently being researched, along with an additional siege tank should be built in just a moment. Trying to build out right here. Opponent, I believe I lost. Yeah, I lose those Reapers somehow. I think he, with that single Overlord, he was able to see up onto that high ledge and then start shooting down those Reapers with that Overlord. Coming back over here, we have. Zerline hiding in the bushes right here. So nice, Zerline hiding in the bush right there, offering just a little bit of sight. So very nice play coming in from Sorimachi. Coming back, taking a look at the income. Income is now, what, 35 harvesters for Enrix, only 20 for me, 23 for Xnub, and 27 or 29 for Sorimachi. I think that's one of the issues that I have with Terran. I never ever have enough SCVs for some reason. Taking a look at this, also getting a reactor core on my starport. Starport going to start producing some of those medevacs and those Vikings in order to counter any air that we may encounter. Getting some siege tanks on this high ledge in order to try to protect my natural expansion, and I will be moving to take my natural expansion in just a moment. Trying to move out. We'll see how this really works out. A large number of roaches, so very, very large number of roaches, going to be facing a fair number of marauders plus some siege tanks. The roaches are fairly strong, and in comes those roaches. I see those roaches coming into play, and I realize that I do not have the army to really take on that many roaches. I'm going to try to cut them off, move them back into position, try to siege this siege tank. Siege tank in position, and then perhaps have them engage. So in come those roaches. Siege tanks now trying to come in, able to start blasting, trying to fight into that middle of the map right here. A partner trying to ping him to let him know that I am getting a little bit cornered into this position, and this is looking pretty bad for me right now. Mutalisk now up in the air as well, so those Mutalisks going to be able to start doing some harassment. The siege tanks were able to get a couple kills off, but still not enough to really finish off this particular fight here. Mutalisk now finishing off of the last of these roaches, so roaches now getting taken down, and a little bit of that middle force getting taken down. Taking a look at the army sizes, Enrix sitting at 2,900, Xnub sitting at 2,350, I'm down to 825, while Sorimachi is now sitting at 1150. Coming back over here, we once again have a large number of Mutalisks, so a fair number of Mutalisks moving out, and then I'm going to once again be dropped into my base. I go ahead and use that siege tank, able to shoot back onto that high ground. I want to produce as many siege tanks as I can, continuing to move out as my partner is now going to move in with these Mutalisks. Mutalisks now trying to take down this particular expansion over here. Roaches coming out, and those roaches not going to be able to really do all too much, as those Mutalisks are able. Mutalisks are just dealing damage towards those units. Roaches once again burrowing, and now we have Enrix now with that one Overseer trying to fight back. So here we have this continuing fight, more Mutalisks coming in from that north-hand side. Unfortunately, I have lost my main base of medevacs and Marines just continuing to fight over here. Taking a look at this, I'm once again just pushing against trying to take down the rest of these roaches, and I think this may be another one of those games where economically, but I'm just so far behind that I'm not going to be able to do nearly as much. Now, a couple of Hydralisks now coming back in. Going to try to focus down those Hydralisks as well. A group of 14 Mutalisks and Roaches now just finishing off the rest of this particular map. down over here, Xnub sitting pretty comfortably right now. And stay tuned for part 2 and what I expect to be the conclusion of this replay between here on Lost Temple on this 2v2 matchup.